Hello, this is Isaac from Turn Sounds.
Hi, this is Liam from Turn Sounds.
Don't open an umbrella.
Use a raincoat instead.
Welcome to Just Keep Walking. This is a podcast focused on the Walking Dead TV show, and today we're talking about Season 11, Episode 14, called The Rotten Core. I'm your host, Ben, joined today by...
Liam.
And...
Also Isaac. Hello.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. We're obviously going to talk about the episode, our thoughts and review, and then we've got a few other random things to get into afterwards. Liam has watched Episode 11 after a bit of a delay. So we'll get his thoughts on that. And then there's just a few real world things, just with filming, some news updates and some random stuff to talk about. So we'll come back to that after. But spoilers ahead.
Full spoilers ahead.
For the episode. And let's dive into it. Who would like to go first? Me? All right.
Yep.
I liked it. Definitely the sort of a storyline in the building was a lot more interesting than Daryl and Rosita and all that going to get money. Like that sort of got more interesting towards the end, but a lot of it just didn't make much sense. It was fine, and definitely, if you're comparing to episode 11, it was at least exciting what was happening. But there are some very strange decisions and things going on there that sort of just took you out of it a bit, for me at least. But other than that, I thought it was pretty solid episode, and that's about it.
Do we know who directed the episode?
I think it's the first time. I didn't recognize his name.
Okay.
I don't have it in front of me, but I'll look it up.
I would say whoever the director is, they 100% have played zombie games. And
right.
know what the fact that we have a mission inside of a mission, it's just, I really liked it. I think I really liked this episode. There was a lot going on in there, which was like, this is just classic zombie stuff, Right. I found the thing I didn't care about most was like the occupation of the I don't know what the tower's even called, the place that they're in that's under siege.
Yeah.
The officers in white. I didn't really care about what was going on there. It didn't feel like a very real threat. It just felt like something that they were just dealing with.
Yeah, there was some stuff with that, definitely, yeah.
But overall, I thought, pretty polished episode, except for some really bad technical things.
A few exceptions,
Yeah.
How about you, Liam?
I'm more on the other side, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was good, but it wasn't amazing in my eyes.
Has anything impressed you yet in this?
Not in this batch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe I'm just biased because this whole Commonwealth arc is just, I'm done with it.
Yeah.
But
no, for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely good. Just, nothing really stood out as, this is really, really good. Yeah, there are a few points where I'm like, I don't like this. Purely like the camera sort of stuff, little things like that just sort of sprung up. I'm like,
Oh.
it's bad.
We'll come to it in a sec. But also things like just the ad breaks and the little stingers and stuff. Like, there's sort of a way to do it that I feel like has been, I don't know, more subtle or just a bit classier is the word I keep coming back to in the past, that now it just feels like kind of cheap TV cliffhangers sometimes. But, and it is a lot of just very small things that all add up a bit. So I would kind of agree with you, Liam, like taking a big step back and looking overall for the show. Yeah, this was a pretty average episode, but at least where we are now compared to some of the earlier stuff in season 11, it's like pretty good. Yeah. And still fun at least to watch. So that's it. But yeah, right from the start, within the first 30 seconds, we've got a very interesting camera angle of, if you pull up the episode, actually, where are we? Actually, it'd change. Yeah, it's about 2 minutes in exactly. If you go to the time code 1 minute 57 on AMC Plus, that is. There's a shot of Toby on the walkie-talkie, and it legit looks like they were still setting up the camera or something. There's a intentional shaky cam or handheld look, which is perfectly fine. I don't mind it at all. But this is not definitely felt like like someone accidentally knocked the tripod and they just left it in.
What I reckon it was, 100% that someone's gone tripped on the thing.
Yeah.
It used to be a much wider shot, but they've now punched in order to like stabilize the shot as much as they could.
It doesn't look stabilized though. Like there's sort of
me, it
a
does.
weird. Yeah, I
It
mean,
looks like it's been
might be.
digitally stabilized.
Okay,
like
I
they've
could be wrong,
Tried
yeah.
to save it, but that's the best they could do.
Yeah, fair enough. I
Why
could be
wouldn't they
wrong.
just reshoot it?
Yeah, that's the question. And who knows? It could have just been a random time thing, like, oh, they got another take, but it wasn't as good, and the acting was better in this one. I don't know. That was just
Boy,
funny
oh
that
boy.
right off the bat. But anyway, that's just a small thing. Yeah, so just we'll go chronologically. So we got the cops all getting ready to head out. Little brat kid is Sebastian. Oh yeah, that's right, because he's bragging about how good he is with walkers.
Yeah, when, most people, they freak out, but when I see one, my heart rate actually lowers. Like, oh yeah, cool, yeah. Then he like gestures to Daryl, like Daryl's going to help him out. Oh yeah, tell him about, oh yeah, great
job.
stuff. Yeah. Starts
Gives a
clapping.
round of applause.
Gives him a thumbs up as well.
Perfectly, Daryl.
And then like as soon
yeah.
as the cops straight after that come out and like, hey, we got a new job, it comes from the top down or whatever. No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
no way. That's one of my notes. Shady cops changing orders because of brat kid.
Yeah.
That's my note. So
Good note.
Called it.
Yeah.
It was pretty obvious, but called it.
Yeah. Oh, right. I get what you're saying. You made that note before it was revealed. Yeah. Okay. No, that makes sense. Yeah. And then we're back into the building where the two groups meet up. It's kind of hard to follow, but I think it's been like a good, I don't know, 3 or 4 months since
That
Negan left,
confused me.
something like
Yeah.
that.
when he said he got married, that was my note. Yeah, they
And
how long has it been?
She said she's about 12 weeks pregnant
Yeah.
as well. So, yeah.
I don't know what the thing is with ginger. Why you're supposed to eat ginger?
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
So
Yeah.
that's the thing, yeah.
Yeah, maybe you would know, given Shelby.
I didn't get pregnant.
Does it help
Well,
with nausea or something?
yeah, I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
When I
It's like a probiotic.
was
or
sick
something.
with a cold or whatever, that was one thing I got told was just to like suck on ginger for like a little bit. It's horrible, but it kind of works.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, morning sickness and stuff. Maybe.
Hmm.
I'll ask Shelby. I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
If you know, email us.
Yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
better yet. Where would they email us, Liam?
Turnsounds@gmail.com.
Nice. You're going full radio presenter there with that.
It's good.
So yeah, I mean, it's because and you've just watched it recently now. Episode 11. I think I can't remember the line, but at one point they mentioned something about weeks or months, and so it's kind of like it's little clues here and there, but it's not all that clear how long it's
Yeah.
been or how fast time is passing. But yeah, I mean, we'll just go with it, I guess. Hey, It's sort
Doesn't-
of
Yeah.
what were you saying?
It doesn't help that they keep doing the time, like
Yeah,
2
2
weeks
weeks earlier.
Yeah. Like, no one knows where we are in time now.
Yeah, that's true. Actually,
It's a little bit messy.
yeah, I would say still especially just for this chunk of episodes from episode 9 onwards. That's been the big issue on the time side of things, as well as just the like importance of different things, the scale of locations. Like now, I think we've got a pretty good grasp of the Commonwealth and what it like, how our people view it, how big it is, and what their place in it is. I think now we have a better idea of it, but it took a long time to get there and a long, confusing road to get there. And now, even with this building, like they're talking about, okay, search every floor, and yeah, it's kind of confusing. How big is this building? How many soldiers there are? And then at the end of the episode, it seems like, oh, well, there are only like 4 soldiers and they just took them out in a few seconds. Like, yeah, it's sort of a lot of details like that are kind of getting skimmed over, which isn't, each one in itself isn't a big deal, but it all adds up to sort of make the whole picture a bit confusing.
That's my general question for this whole episode. And if it's like a first-time director of the episode or like of the series,
I would put it more on the writers actually, or even the showrunner, I guess, just who's got to view the overall picture. Like, it's not really the director's job, I would say, to do that stuff.
fair, I guess. But when you've got so many things to me that stand out in particular with this episode, you're probably right. It is the writers, but for me, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's jumping ahead. One of my biggest.
That's fine. Yeah.
There are some things that happen on this show, very particularly with this episode, where I'm like, do you think that we're actually stupid? Like, like when Daryl uses the pliers.
Yeah, I was keen to hear your thoughts on that. Yeah.
Because so the whole thing there is that a fuse is broken. Anyone who knows how a fuse works, it like has a particular amount of resistance to a current before it breaks, and so that you don't damage the gear. If you put two massive bits of metal, that's a massive fuse between the power. And granted, it would be a bigger fuse, but like it would straight away overload, blow every single circuit that was in there. It wouldn't flicker backward, forward, and then you adjust it like, and now it's running constant. I just like when you're writing that. No one's gonna ask questions about that. Like, just take it for what it is.
Yeah.
With that though, if Daryl had just said one word like, I can't believe that worked or something, then I would straight away forgive it. I'd be like, right, because it's a fluke thing that shouldn't have worked, but it did. You know?
Yeah, interesting.
There are just things like that which come up. I'm like, are we idiots? Like,
we'll definitely get onto some positives soon. But then the most obvious thing, which we all said out loud, is that after this lady's been like locked in the safe or whatever, then like the whole thing is okay. Yeah, all right, we've opened the door, we've got in, and then they like close the door behind them
with the lights still flickering.
It's so strange. Yeah. So just all these rules, like you don't know what the stakes are, what the rules are, because they're constantly changing. So yeah.
Magically reappearing bullets.
What was that?
So they all ran out of bullets, right?
Yeah.
And what's his name? Mercer decides to pop two in the other two soldiers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
there you go.
Good point.
And the alarm that goes off in the building, that's not like powered by that central...
Yeah, you can't just smash the control and that turns the alarm off.
Otherwise, like, wouldn't burglars just do that?
That's like, you could literally just like cut the wire as a burglar of the control panel.
Smart burglar. Deserves to get away with it. I don't know. It's a TV show, so I go, don't worry about it, whatever. But there are some things where I'm like, that's too far.
Yeah. And like one of them, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that was a bit silly, but whatever. But when it's lots of little things all piling up, then it just,
Yeah.
Oh, well.
You've got bayonets on your rifles, the knife attachments on the front of your things, and you're popping off at close range zombies when you could just be doing very tactical stabs, you know? Using the gun has like a good amount of like force behind it to shove, and yet there's more noise attracting more.
And just the zombies appearing out of nowhere, which is
classic.
It's not new, but of course, the second Daryl turns the power on, then there's like 10 of them, and like this is a house. Didn't you check the other rooms before you?
Have you learnt nothing, Daryl?
Also, was there an epilepsy warning at the start of this episode or something? If there wasn't, there should have been.
Yeah.
Daryl in the basement when the lights are flicking on and off, I'm having to close my eyes.
Strobe party.
Yeah. Rough, man.
Yeah, fair enough. I thought it looked pretty cool, but
cool that he used like the Batman gauntlet things to like stab zombies with them.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Last thing I promise is that then when he comes back in to the room, then all his armor's off except for like one thing on his arm, like even his breastplate and all that.
True.
Why did that just disappear?
True.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Did he take them off? Was he ripping them off mid-fight?
Yeah, like his arm stuff. But why wouldn't he put it back on? And if he did rip it off in the first place. But I don't think he did take his whole breastplate and all that off.
It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I got one more negative.
Okay.
I might as well just get it all out.
Get it all out.
Yeah, that's not how fuses work. Epilepsy, bayonets. Okay. The adding of SFX to like weapons in particular in this episode was numbing for me.
I didn't notice it. Hey,
Think about it. Okay, so
Yeah.
they have this standoff with Negan's group and Maggie's group right at the start, where they're all holding weapons
Yeah.
to each other, and Elijah, is that?
yeah, that's it.
He
Yeah.
holds his hook blade
yeah.
to the other. What's her name? The other main lady.
I'm not sure.
I don't
hey.
think we do. We know.
I don't even know if we've got a name
I'll
yet.
see
Have we?
if it's here.
I do like her, but I don't. Anyway.
Colonel Vickers, I think.
Colonel Vickers.
Oh. Do you have a
that's her.
cast list on there?
Yeah, this just popped up this episode. I don't know. I don't think it's been there in the past.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Colonel Vickers. All right. Anyway, so he's holding the blade up against her neck, and Negan comes out and says, "Let's all be cool" or something. And so he goes, "Okay." And so like they all take their weapons away, and his makes a big shing noises like he
Right.
takes it away. Like, no.
not how they
okay,
work.
fair enough.
At best, I'd if you want to add in some kind of like it moving across like leather or like
Yeah.
clothes ruffling noise or something, and every time someone picks up a gun and points, it makes like a click click noise, like you're priming it each and every
It
time.
sounded like Ken in Toy Story 3 or whatever. Doesn't he do that click click with the camera?
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Old Michael Keaton.
Oh yeah, I always forget that.
There you go.
Check out. There's a podcast in my boot. Our Toy Story podcast.
New episodes coming your
Yeah.
way. Yeah, I don't know. I get it. It's cool. The more that you can add to weapons, the more real they appear, less
Sure.
prop-like, but too much.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I learned the other day that swords don't actually make a shing noise when you draw them from the scabbard.
Unless you've got a badly made scabbard.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's the last negative.
Okay,
thing for me.
cool.
I have one more negative.
We'll come back to it. We can't-
Shaky cam. I'm just going to say it. Shaky cam.
Oh, okay.
Did
Just
my head in this
in
episode.
general, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this
okay,
episode
fair
in
enough.
particular.
I do have another one, actually.
Save it. We'll come back
Okay,
to it.
okay.
Alright. We've made a
I
promise
liked this
and
episode.
we've broken it 5 times already. All right, positives. I like that now they're getting to meet Negan sort of on completely new terms now.
Yeah.
That because it was getting there, gradually getting better and better, and to the point where they trusted him, they were teaming up with him, but he was still just part of their group, and he's the guy who you'd least trust out of everyone. But now it's been months have passed, and they're meeting him in a completely different dynamic. He's already sort of got a place in this power structure of this group trusts him, and so now for the first time, I think they can really just fully move past the past and look at him as someone new. Now that he's not with their group, he's sort of with another group, and they're just teaming up. So I like that.
And they did acknowledge that fully. Like when they found out Negan was with him, they're like, "Oh, so now you're back to being you," or something. What did they say? Like, "Oh, you must like that," or something along the lines of.
I don't remember, but yeah.
How do I?
Yeah, but like back to your old tricks or something along to that effect.
Right.
And he was like, "No, this is me."
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Aaron was talking about like putting the skulls up on the.
That's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. I
Yeah.
must have missed that line. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
that was good.
And then the bit where she goes, I need to leave these people with someone I trust. And they all just look at him.
Big mistake.
Yeah. So, that's cool to sort of, like, I feel like this is the first time we're really getting past that. So that's cool.
Well, that's a note that I have there. So Negan comes along, whacks this soldier in the back of the head, then proceeds to stab him through the mask.
Yeah.
Could have thrown a quick to the kid who's sitting there. Just look away for a second, kid, and then does the thing. Brutal as. And now this kid who Herschel, who finds out that this is the man who murdered his father, gets to see him mercilessly kill another person right in front of him. It's like, yeah, you are a bad man.
Yeah. Fair
Well,
enough.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess he's seen enough anyway.
Yeah,
It's kind of part of the word. He's eating horse. What can you do?
true.
Doesn't get much worse than that.
Yeah. So Sebastian is... Oh, I've got to stop playing with that screw. There we go. Sebastian's given them the... Don't worry. the brief, and obviously mentions the kids. So like, thank you, Isaac, giving me a fidget toy.
Not just any fidget toy.
Max Rebo.
Yeah.
Check out Astromech, our Star Wars podcast. We got lots of plugs this episode.
Nice.
Yeah, so I like that. I don't know. That's all I can say really. Is that I just like the way he sort of, did that. Held the knife to his throat. So, hey, don't even think about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess just the power dynamic of it all. Like knowing that, I'm not in control of this situation, but still, like, don't even think about it. When they've,
That kind of bugged me, that scene.
Yeah, what about it?
Sebastian's reaction. Like everything that we've seen of him so far, he's quite cowardly. He doesn't really have to handle nonsense, basically. He just snaps his fingers and other people do it. So when that was happening, I was expecting more of a... Like, I would have thought he'd like be quaking in his boots a bit more rather than...
Who's Sebastian?
Is that his name?
The snotty kid.
Yeah.
I think that's his name.
Okay.
The governor's daughter.
Yeah.
Son,
That's it.
sorry.
Daughter. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I would have expected him to be a bit more like freaking out. Like, oh, no, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
Oh, okay.
He was just too calm in that scenario. Like having someone like Daryl, who you can see is a badass, like holding a knife to your throat. Like, if you do this, like these two guys are obviously going to shoot you. But yeah, he was too calm for my liking. I'm like, no, I want to. Maybe I'm just biased and I want to see him
I would have
squirm,
thought the opposite. I would have thought more, if anything, that he would get more angry about it. But obviously, I think he's got a respect for Daryl now because Daryl sort of gave him the victory with the other soldier and let him take him in
Fair point.
front of his mum and stuff.
Yeah.
Also, I think with the other soldiers behind him with the guns, he feels like a false sense of confidence. Like
But-
he can
Yeah.
fake being brave.
But all the stuff in the past, like with walkers and all that, he's only ever gotten angry like when Eugene and Princess stopped them. He wasn't scared of the walkers, so I don't think he's necessarily scared of a lot, but he just gets upset when he's not in control.
There's a very good chance that it's just my bias wanting to see him squirm.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Looking back at that scene where Eugene and fake Stephanie.
Oh, that's right.
God.
Yeah, it was her. It wasn't Princess.
So that's pretty interesting knowing fake Stephanie went along with the whole.
Yeah. Interesting. When they're putting guts on the Commonwealth outfits and walking through, that's the way to do it. Much safer.
Classic. One of my notes there, sweet zombie sounds.
Yeah.
You've got this one lady zombie who's just hanging around and she's just capturing it perfectly.
Yeah, and it's all really up close, which it isn't usually, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool foreshadowing, the one that bumps shoulders with him and they both kind of stop and he just acts a bit, and then later on when other lady bumps but catches.
Freaks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not much to say about this whole thing, finding the lady in the closet and all that.
That was back to my mission within a mission.
Yeah.
No? Classic that you're exactly that. Your mission is to go and get the cash from this thing, and along the way suddenly you hear this voice saying, "Hey, help, I'm stuck, can you help me?" It's
Right.
like, that's real video game stuff, like through and through.
Yeah.
And then interesting.
Yeah, it works.
I liked it.
Yeah, cool. Where are we here? Oh, yeah, they're all. What do you think of the hiding the secret entrance behind the coat hangers?
What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's all right. It's hard to hide a room, if you ask me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Classic problem, yeah.
Yeah. I guess they did about as well as you could, but could have done better. Like that if you're talking about like going through and sweeping the rooms, the first thing you do if you see like an open closet is there's going to be someone hiding behind the clothes, just like brush them out of the way. And then when there's this really obvious entrance, like what I would do is have a whole sheet against the back wall that goes all the way to the floor, and then you just lift it up to go past it, rather than having a slit in the middle that you just push open, or like the wind could blow it open. But But yeah.
I'm trying not to be negative, but that's like, if there's a trope of like, you know, the person going to do the thing that discovers the hiding people,
Yeah.
hands getting closer and closer, and then on the radio, oh, or, you know, some crash behind them, like, oh, instead of taking 2 more seconds to quickly look and then go move away, I'm going to be completely distracted and look away.
Yeah.
I just-
almost as good as the gun clicking last episode.
Well, it's comparable with like the person going to drink the poison drink or whatever, and they're like looking at something about you, and then they hear something, oh, and then they put their drink back down and
Yeah.
walk away. I don't know. It's been done. It's been done.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh yeah, so obviously, yeah, Negan goes, saves Herschel, which is cool. I mean, yeah, it makes sense that there's only one guard with him, I guess, because it's just a kid. They're not going to put all their resources.
Stay.
Yeah. How many guards are there? Is it just that core group that went in originally?
You got to imagine.
Yeah. So I guess there's really not that many, hey?
No.
Yeah, fair enough.
I do like the line that Negan has. So he radios Maggie or Colonel Vickers.
Well, now it says Annie for the same actress, I think. I could be wrong.
I believe that. Sure.
Maybe it's a different actress. Yeah, right. It's either Annie or Colonel Vickers.
He radios her and
Or
says,
both.
yeah, you got a stowaway here. It's your son. And Maggie says the line, you know, if anything happens to him, and Negan's like, you know, yeah, it'd have to happen to me first.
Good line.
Yeah, really good line.
Yeah.
It's nice stuff. I try
Yeah.
and spin that though, like if anything happens to him, so like, you know, a ice cream truck pulls up. Well, if it has to happen to him, it'll happen to me first.
Yeah.
You know?
After me.
Yeah,
I fed him spaghetti.
I did say. Yeah,
That'll be it. Opening scene of Isle of the Dead is Maggie cooking, Negan cooking spaghetti for the crew.
beautiful.
Yeah, what do you think of Negan, his whole chat with Herschel?
I actually quite liked it.
Yeah.
Because he really recognized that, yeah, man, like there is nothing that I can say. Like I did an unspeakable thing and I took something from you and your mum that, you know, there's nothing that can ever be said or done that will come close to making it right. And he owned it. I like that.
Yeah.
Man, he didn't even apologize. So what's that going to do? He's like, yeah, man, like I did it.
Yeah.
And straight up said, like, I probably deserve what's coming, but like these people don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked that.
And then to skip forward a bit as well to when they part ways and he says, yeah, just wait a few years, grow up a bit, and then we can
Settle it.
settle it. Yeah.
What's he
Any
gonna?
thoughts? Yeah.
Yeah, what happens in 15 years when he's that much older, Negan, and then on the horizon comes running, you know, in his prime Herschel with like a barbed wire bat, like back, like we said, you know, I don't know what he's expecting there.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll forgive him or move past it in that time.
Well, this is just a wild projection. Is Herschel going to survive?
This
Like
is one of
we've
my
got
bigger
Isle of the
questions
Dead.
for, dang
Yeah.
it, Liam.
Sorry.
That's all right. No, yeah, perfect. Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I've been thinking.
Right.
Like, is Negan's wife going to survive?
Her, I could definitely see dying.
Rude.
Well, yeah. I would be surprised if Herschel died, but it's possible, I guess. Yeah. I definitely don't want him to because Maggie's lost like pretty much everyone. So
Yeah.
for her to have
Yeah.
one win as a happy ending would be good. But yeah.
It would be like an easy way to write Maggie out of The Walking Dead, though. Like Herschel,
so?
for lack of better words, kicks the bucket. She's like, no, like Glenn died, my dad died, like my whole family died. Herschel's died. I've got
Sister
nothing here. Yeah, I have nothing here but bad memories. Time for me to move on.
Yeah, interesting.
Or you could use like Herschel gets kidnapped on some freighter heading toward New York or something. Did you say it was New York, the Isle of the Dead?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Maybe. Anyway, so the mission is go back to get Herschel, and Negan feels some responsibility, and maybe this is his way to redeem himself. That's it. That's what it's going to be about. Them going to go and get, that's exactly what it is. You heard it here first.
Yeah, that could work. Something like that. We'll see. Yeah, all right. What next? Yeah, the whole strobe party. I'm just skipping through the episode for everyone listening. I mean, really. Oh yeah, we just come to the end on the roof. That whole thing. Any thoughts on that? Really?
Yep.
Yeah. Go for it.
So, old mate, skipping forward just a touch towards the climax of that part. Toby, is that his name?
Toby, yeah.
Yeah, so when Toby pushed over all the other people, they've died on impact on the floor. Toby gets shot multiple times, falls and hits the back of his head on the concrete, yet is still not only conscious, but like able to like make sounds, like vocalize. He's not speaking, just but he's conscious, he's alive. Yeah, that was a bit too unrealistic for me, seeing that everyone else died on impact after just being pushed off.
Being alive is... Oh, is that... Oh, yeah, that's right.
Got it.
Being alive is all right, but yeah, the fact that he like lifted his head up and went like,
Yeah, like...
like he at least should be like paralyzed after that, yeah.
You see the shot, which... Not negative, but like... That shot of him falling and then just being like thump on the ground, like basic After Effects, like just body... what is that, rotoscoping? I don't know.
Yeah.
Ah, man. But he's got a little bit of armor. Maybe the will to live plays something in there. Grim way to go.
Yeah.
I would have expected a lot more from him as far as like the odds have turned against him. Now he's the one with the gun pointed toward him. I would have expected him to be like, here's what it is, just kill me or whatever. Like clearly it's
right, okay.
The whole like, let's talk about this, let's everyone stay calm. That's a very typical villain response to being, cornered, but...
Not ex-CIA operative, sort of.
True.
Yeah.
Maybe he was trying to de-escalate, but bad job.
Didn't do it, yeah.
Bad job. And yeah, I mean, I didn't mind it at all that we didn't really see much of him, actually getting torn apart by zombies, because I'm not all that into the gory side of things, but like it definitely is like a pretty obvious sort of budget cut comparison, like if you compare the old ones and now this.
Yeah.
And they even kept in the same like stomach shot, but he's wearing armor, so it wasn't like, why did you even have that shot in there?
Yeah.
And then obviously it just comes up and obscures the camera instead of showing anything. So like, that's unless it's just a censorship thing, it seems like a pretty obvious budget. Maybe both in one.
Because they used to do the whole like ears tearing off thing.
Yeah,
and
some pretty dark stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they did that with the other, I don't know if we got her name, who died with Daryl Rosita and Carolyn Mercer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't see her die. You just saw afterwards Rosita looks quite solemn and she's lying down on the floor.
Yeah, quick death as well.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, well, we didn't even hear her scream.
What if she just fainted and she was alive?
Yeah, legit. That's what I
stab.
I'm even going to slap her like Jake. I was just... Yeah. That's not as bad as Jesus' death, I didn't think, because that was the sort of thing at the end of the episode. It's like, oh, okay, did he just pass out, or like is he actually dead? And then the next one, oh, okay, I guess he died.
He's gone. In hindsight, though, like you rewatch that and you can see like he gets impaled with a sword.
Yeah,
like, it cuts from one side of his torso to the other.
Yeah,
so,
it's fair enough. It's just that he drops and then he's just gone. Like you usually expect at least like a little bit of like breath and then just hear the final breath like as he dies in Aaron's arms or whatever, like just for confirmation. But it's like, oh, okay, that's it, he's gone.
Did you say you see the stab wound?
I don't think you see the wound, but you see the the sword or the dagger or the knife or whatever it was go right through.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I'll have to rewatch it.
Yeah, and then Savage Aaron goes and just shoots him off the edge.
Kapow.
Savage Aaron. That's the new name.
Yeah. Immediately followed by Savage Mercer shooting.
Yeah.
people in there.
Yeah.
With-
Interesting.
Mystical regenerating bullets.
Yeah.
Well, that was a handgun, right? So he was using his rifle before.
Yeah, you'd think though if you're
Yeah,
the
if
zone
you're
of
counting up
shooting.
bullets, yeah.
Yeah, well, if you're shooting a bunch of zombies and you realize you're out of ammo, you're not going to be like, all right, time to use the trusty like hammer or knife or whatever. You'd be like, cool, I've still got a handgun.
I don't know though. I think at this point, when they're that competent with hand-to-hand, up-close stuff, it's probably way safer to use
Yeah.
hand-to-hand weapons.
Why wouldn't they have just, yeah. You'd think they would have been able to do that from the start then, like bottleneck them into the room or. Yeah.
Yeah, that lady who died, she wasn't built for this one.
No.
So everyone
Yeah.
else is being quiet the second she gets like caught.
That's a good point though. Like, what do you do in that scenario? Like, would you just let the zombie drag you a bit and follow it? Or what do you guys think?
I mean, that would be my first instinct is just act like a zombie and just get pushed around like everyone else is. And then if you do have to stab him, just like hold it together, just silently stab and let go. Don't go,
You gotta, like, 3 days she's been trapped or something without food and water as well.
Yeah, she's a
Bit
bit
of
delusional.
delirium.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. Any thoughts on the?
Mercer
deaths?
Mercer capping off those two
Yeah.
guys just randomly. Did he? I don't know whether it was because they said, hey, look, we sent in 30, 40 people. I don't know. We don't care. Look at money. And so if that's enough for him to just be like, okay, you guys are far gone. Here's a bullet.
Yeah.
You have a way with the words.
Yeah,
Merry
I guess,
Christmas. Look at the flowers.
I guess he
Look at
can't,
the flowers.
can't do anything to Sebastian, but he knows Sebastian won't care if these guys disappear, and they're obviously like maliciously evil, and they're sort of, pawns that he can use. So yeah, sort of got to do what you got to do. Yeah, that was interesting. I'm glad that they took a moment and everyone was sort of stood there like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they didn't just brush over it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not shock even. It's just kind of like, okay, so that happened. All right, now we're moving on.
Yeah. Yeah. And they get back. He grabs his money, gives them a little cut.
Money.
And we have, the last scene is Carol and Jim Carrey, Lance,
Shifty
in
Jim.
his office.
Could I take us back one scene?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Sebastian
Yeah,
says, I'm so glad we're friends again, and walks away like hands turned to fists, and you're just like, oh, kid. Yeah, you'll get yours one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Doesn't seem to care that his two pals are obviously dead.
Yeah, he just, and then goes back to counting the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, oh, look at me, Mr. Nice Guy. Here's your cut of the money. Like, we did it. Great job. No.
This is definitely, Carol's been a lot better this season. Season 10 wasn't her season.
What season was her season?
4 and 5 and 3.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, this is sort of what she does best, I think, just earning trust with people, not giving away too much, and but sort of getting all the information. So yeah, I like seeing her do that here, and not just instantly saying, "Oh, that's wrong. Why are you doing that?" Like, sort of agree and then add a little bit of logic of like, yep, you're either part of the problem or part of the solution. So that sort of is going to tide him over a bit. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Did it though? Because he grabbed his walkie-talkie at the end.
I thought that was just to keep calling the guy and see if
Yeah.
he was okay. That was what I got from it.
Ah, see, I took that as like when Carol turned around, like her smile instantly dropped and she walks out. And as soon as she starts walking out, his smile dropped as well. So I thought, did he just not buy that at all? Was he like, she's onto me?
Yeah, there could be a bit of that. Yeah, we'll just have to see where it goes. But yeah, there looks like a little bit of, I'm not sure if I trust this person.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. Not quite sure how to read it yet.
It's all chess, not checkers.
That's it. That's it.
A lot of smiling going on.
Oh yeah, and then the very last scene, that's right, is 2 weeks earlier is Leah killing all the
That's
people
her
on
name.
the road. Yeah. Which, yeah.
When I from the bottom
Classic Leah.
Yep.
from the bottom up, when you first see the blonde hair, I instantly thought, it's the blonde girl from The Last of
Last
Us
of Us 2 is Abby. Yeah, it looked like
crossover.
It's because of what she was wearing as well.
Yeah,
I legit
yeah.
had the same thought. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we'll see where it goes. I don't know. I wouldn't mind leaving her in the past.
Yep.
But also, just that is one of those small things that for me just feels like a TV show twist ending, not an actual like contribution to the story. It's like, what's a shocking ending? Oh, Leah. Yeah.
I'm glad we got to see. I thought, knife she uses cuts the poor lady's throat. And then I thought, we're not going to find out until next time. And I would have been very disappointed. I saw the boots and leggings, pants, and thought it was Negan. I was like, oh no, like Negan stole the weapons. And I'm glad it wasn't him. But also, yeah, I'm happy to just leave Leah in the past.
Yeah.
She should have just thrown a fish at the lady. It would have been funny. Yep.
Where'd that come from?
From that episode, wasn't it?
Yeah, from that. She throws a fish at Daryl, if you remember.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Repress the memory.
It's hilarious.
It's been a while.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I don't know.
Well, she obviously has a part to play. Sorry, I cut you off.
That's
Yeah.
it. I mean, guns you've stolen. I don't know if she's fun with the new group that needs guns.
Something along those lines, I'm guessing, because they had her in the first half of the season, first third of the season. Yeah, like she obviously has some sort of role to play going forward. So I'm not overly fussed. So I'm not like, leave her in the past. If it's written well, bring it on. Anything's better than what we're currently getting.
Well, yeah, thinking about it now,
Anything.
at least if this
you're
goes
right.
somewhere story-wise, it will potentially justify the Reapers storyline.
Yeah.
Because, like, up to this point, it's literally like you could just cut the Reapers out and it wouldn't make any difference.
No, yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. Then it might sort of tie all that together.
I agree, but the Reaper stuff has been far more entertaining than this.
Oh yeah,
this
more
whole thing,
entertaining, definitely. Yeah,
by far.
for sure.
The threat of the Reapers when we first met them,
At first,
when you've
yes.
got this guy who's sniping everyone, you can't. They only come out at night. They wear these masks. Guy would rather blow himself up than reveal anything. You're like, oh, this is serious, scary. Folk. They're hanging people upside down along, it's chilling, and then all of a sudden gone,
Yeah.
and nothing
Actually,
like
not that bad.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah.
They're a lot less menacing when we met them, like at the compound.
Much is the case with any ghost. Once you pull the hood off the thing, it's
Yeah, true.
threat neutralized.
No, but there's more to it than that. It's because then it's not just from the audience's perspective. It's then their behavior and everything completely changed after that. They didn't wear the masks at all after that point, and they weren't using strategy or anything. They were just wandering around in the middle of the day, just wandering through buildings and stuff. So, the hanging people upside down never came back. All this stuff,
Oh, that was one other thing. I didn't write it down. If we have time,
yeah.
Annie, Negan's now wife.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
My phone autocorrected every note of Negan to Megan, so it's quite annoying. She's talking with Maggie and saying Maggie says, "Oh, you know about Negan, but you still married him anyway, or whatever. You're with him anyway." And Annie says, like, we've all like done things, and we've all done good things and bad things. And then I thought to myself, well, yeah, look at Maggie, just like murdered a whole bunch of people in cold blood who were retreating and walking away. Like, yeah. So who are you to look at Negan like he's some savage who, murdered your husband and all that, but so very long ago, and he's changed now. Yet, yeah, look at you. Look at all the things that you're doing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I've thought that was a good point, and I don't know if maybe that was what she was thinking about. You could tell like she was looking at the ground and thinking about something, whether that was it or something else. But yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
I think the more characters that kind of neutralize, or that's not the right word, de-threaten the whole Negan thing to Maggie, the better.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it has to go somewhere interesting if they're getting their own spin-off, so...
That's true.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, well, that'll wrap it up for the episode pretty much. Yeah, I've got 2 other things I'm keen to talk about, but Liam, do you want to give us your thoughts on episode 11 first?
Yeah. Okay, so it was bad, but
Yeah?
I don't think it was as bad as the mouse,
The rat
The
episode.
rat episode,
Yeah. Yeah,
I thought
fair.
that one was way worse.
That's fair.
Yeah, but this one, it wasn't good, but
Mm.
I actually, I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would.
We were maybe a little harsh on it.
Well, I still stand by it because of where we were at the time and the timing where they put it in the season and all that. Like the storylines themselves, if they were spread out over a few episodes mixed in with interesting stuff, sure. But the thing is, like, I would say, yeah, probably the rat episode is a worse episode. But this, what it did is it made us feel like no hope for the rest of the season because it was sort of 2 in a row. And then this was the second one where it's like, oh, is this literally all that the show's going to be about now? Is just like a newspaper and a detective mystery. Like that's the highest stakes we've got for a whole episode.
Did you clue on what was happening with the journalism stuff, Liam? What was the...
Not particularly.
That's it. That's kind of like where most of it, I was like, what is this and why is it important?
Yeah, I was trying to think like, is this going to come back later on? But I was getting nothing.
It looks like it might next episode from the up next. So
Possibly.
we'll see.
Who's the detainee or whatever that Eugene is clearly looking at?
Yeah.
This is the problem with trailers, I'm telling you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. No, good point. And probably definitely looking at it with hindsight or knowing what comes next, it's going to make it a lot better. But
Yeah.
I still stand by it being the worst episode of the show, not just as an episode. Like technically, it's made well. Cinematography and everything was really nice, but just where it sat in the season and what the story was about, it just got everything wrong for me. Whereas at least the rat one, it was literally labeled a bonus episode, and you could just say, "Oh, well, that kind of ran out of ideas and that was lame, but oh well, it's just a bonus episode. What can you expect?" Like, yeah. So that was the difference for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but did you have any other thoughts sort of overall on that one?
Eugene's acting sequence at the end.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, actually, that was good. Where he's yelling at Shifty Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I love it. That's all I don't even remember his name. Is it Lance?
Lance.
Yeah, no, it's Shifty Jim.
Gargulio.
Now there's a name.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was brilliant. Like you felt the feels when he's yelling at him, and
I think we were just so disconnected from the whole episode that, I was, for myself, trying to really get into like the passion of the moment and be like, he feels so betrayed.
Yeah.
Look at it pouring out in his emotion. But I think I just wasn't on the same level with him. I'm just like, I don't feel it, so I can't relate. And that was, hurt, unfortunately. But yeah, great for him. And yeah, he gets actually physically winded by
by
fake. I forget what her name is.
Fakeney.
Bad Biddy.
Stephanie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's not an actual name.
Fake Stephanie, yeah.
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 We do know her actual name in the show. But I can't
Yeah,
remember
he
what
says
it
her
was.
name
Yeah.
is Cynthia?
Something.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
I'd believe that. Yeah.
And she loves your book. Great. That helps. That really
Thank
helps.
you.
I'm gonna go burn it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. So I've been keeping tabs of it mostly because this weekend was the Pandemic Dead convention, which has taken over Walker Stalker because that's a whole story there. That was the main Walking Dead convention, but then, nice. But then there was a pile of stuff that happened and a lot of people lost money and all that and couldn't get refunds because they'd spent too much and couldn't get it back. So there was a whole thing. There's a big story there. But basically there's this new convention now that's sort of taken over as the official Walking Dead one. No, not official, but like the main one that all the actors go to. And then, sort of at the last minute, like the day before, there were all these changes happening. And particularly was that Norman Reedus had to drop out because of an injury or an accident on set, which apparently was just that he got a concussion, thankfully. So it wasn't...
Just a concussion.
Yeah, but like serious enough at least that like sort of they had to delay filming for a week or so. So I don't know any more than that really. Thankfully it's not like a broken leg or whatever because I think they've got 2 weeks left of filming. From what I've seen, the finale's going to be 2 hours long, so it'll be like a proper feature length thing. And they've been spending like 4 or 5 weeks filming it or something like that. So that's definitely good that they're not just rushing it out like any other episode.
2 hours long.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
That's what
So
IMDb says at least. I could be wrong.
I don't know if I'd be keen on that.
No,
I mean, for the finale, if Rick is in there,
I really hope so.
I'll change my tune on that. But yeah, I don't know if that will seem like too much. Like there's so much that they need to tie off that's why it has to be that long.
Yeah,
I would hope that most of it would be tied up before then, and there's only like one big narrative thread left for them to tie off. But look, why not?
Yeah, that's fair. But no, I'm definitely... I like the sound of it at least, and we'll just have to see how they do it. As long as it's not a number they just came up with, like, oh, let's do a 2-hour finale, and then they have to stretch the story to fit it.
Oh, gosh, can you imagine?
As long as it's not that, which it could be.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so that I think they've had to shuffle around filming a bit. And so, yeah, following the whole convention thing, there was then Melissa McBride dropped out and then was able to come back because Norman was all right and stuff like that. So there are all these things changing. But from what I've heard, it was a pretty good thing. So that's good.
Nice. Did you score any virtual?
Nah, they
meetups?
didn't do virtual ones.
Shame.
Yeah, all back in person. I was going to go to a Walker Stalker in October 2020 and I almost booked tickets like just before the whole COVID thing happened, and I'm glad I didn't because it wouldn't have happened. But there we go. And then just back to what we were talking about before with Leah being sort of a legacy character, I guess, for the Reapers. That was just something I thought had overall like legacy characters from other things. So obviously like Lydia, that's why I really like her because she's sort of still keeping, makes the whole Whisperer thing relevant. And it's not that it's irrelevant if you don't have a character who sticks around, but it's kind of nice just to have little bits and pieces from previous storylines stick around and make a difference in the future. Negan obviously is still around. I'm sure we all agree on this, that it would have been nice if Laura stuck around too, who was one of the henchmen.
Yeah.
And maybe even instead of Alden, because Alden didn't really get to do too much until recently when he died. He was just kind of around.
Yeah. I had the worst flashback about him the other day. If it's not too random for me to bring up.
No.
Him and Luke, long live Luke,
Yeah.
doing that duet where they're playing while all the massacring is going on.
Yeah.
I was like, how terrible. That's like the worst thing as like a loving husband, knowing that you could be off somewhere while something terrible is happening, to your family.
Just singing with Dan Fogler.
Yeah. I didn't see his name in any of the opening credits still, so I don't know
No.
what's up with that?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, because he's, I think, supposed to be at Oceanside, but they went to Oceanside like 2 episodes ago, and he wasn't there. Yeah. Well, maybe he was, but he just was
He's
hiding.
safe, and that's what
Yeah.
matters.
Yeah, that's it.
I really hope they don't just like do another Heath where we just never see
Yeah.
him again. I really hope he comes back.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll be very sad if his character does not return.
I might just leave the show.
Yeah. Yeah, so then you got Sadiq was an interesting one. I definitely it's kind of different, but I would have liked him to stick around.
Yeah.
That was one of the deaths where I thought like, I really would have preferred if that didn't happen. And even from a story point of view, I don't think it was completely necessary.
Yeah, I agree.
Because Carl's sacrifice is still
Yeah.
relevant.
Is it?
If he dies later, like it still means something, but it feels a lot more important if Sadiq sticks around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Such a silly noise to make in someone's ear. Yeah.
What else am I forgetting? Like other villain groups and stuff like that. Obviously, the governor. Who stuck around from that? That was
Tara.
Tyrese and all that.
Tara.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, of course. I forgot about that.
And how could you forget?
Guard Julio.
The one,
He
that
should have
the
joined.
only.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I'm sure I'm missing a lot. Are there any other sort of interesting, noteworthy characters that sort of bring back past things?
The ways of the old groups or whatever.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, if you think of something, write into us, turnsounds@gmail.com.
It's a good idea. It's an interesting one to think that, much though they talk about the Commonwealth acting like, Lydia makes this point, the Commonwealth acting like the Reapers, just absorbing all of the communities into one big thing.
Yeah.
It's cool to think that, you have, like you say, Lydia from the Whisperers, Negan from the Saviors and such, which they've all got their own old ways which they're bringing into these groups. It's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Cool. Well, yeah, I think that'll wrap it up for today, hey? But thank you so much for listening. Definitely stay tuned. Definitely get in touch. On Instagram is probably the best. That's where I'm most active. Just Keep Walking podcast on Instagram, but you can definitely go to turnsounds.com, find out about our other podcasts, and send us an email through there as well. So keep in touch and stay tuned for next week. We've got 2 episodes left until show goes on break again. So
For how long?
I'm not sure. They haven't set a date for it to come back. But yeah, then when it does come back, that'll be the last chunk of 8 episodes, and then that'll be it. So yeah.
I
There we
dare
go.
say that opening shot will be fixed when it gets
Really?
released to DVD. There's no way. Sway, you could argue, but actual shake from...
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Let us know your thoughts on it's not the opening shot, but yeah, if you're watching on AMC Plus, it's 1 minute 57 in. See if anyone else notices that. But yeah, I've been Ben,
Still Isaac.
Always Liam.
and we'll catch you next week. Just keep walking.
Bye.